Close your eyes and picture a city with a proud whaling past, an indomitable circus pioneer, and a waterfront that stretches for miles, teeming with life. Now open them, because you're in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I'm Adam from Destination Deca, and today I'm counting down the top 10 things you absolutely cannot miss in this underappreciated gem of New England. By the end of today's video you'll have insider tips, historic backstories, trip hacks, and a full itinerary ready to save and share. Let's dive in. Bridgeport is Connecticut's largest city, but it's often overshadowed by the likes of New Haven or Hartford. That's a travesty, because its story stretches from 17th-century farming villages and a booming whaling port to the circus empire of P.T. Barnum and modern redevelopment along the Long Island Sound. Today we'll navigate lighthouse islands, sandy beaches, concert stages, roller coasters in the trees, world-class aquariums, and hidden wildlife preserves. I'll tell you the best times to go, how to save money, where to park, and even what snacks to pack. Let's get started with number 10. Number 10. Fairweather Island Light. Perched on a rocky outcrop a half-mile offshore, Fairweather Island Light is more than just a beacon, it's a 19th-century engineering marvel. Prefabricated in iron at a Paris foundry in 1876, its five-sided tower was shipped piece by piece, then set on a massive granite crib carved from local Connecticut stone. Step inside the narrow entry hatch and you'll climb a spiral staircase toward the original fifth-order Fresnel lens, still intact though now powered by LEDs. Fun fact: during the 1938 hurricane, gale force winds snapped dock pilings and grounded the seasonal keeper's launch. Yet the light remained lit, guiding vessels through the storm's eye. Locals still whisper about the phantom lantern glow on foggy nights. Trip tip: book your spot on the free summer ferry at least 2 weeks in advance. The ride departs from the Seaside Park boat ramp at 10:15, 11:45 and 1:15. Wear waterproof boots, those rocks get slick, and pack a thermos of hot tea. Even July evenings off the Sound carry a chill. Historical note: after automation in 1917, the lighthouse fell into neglect until a grassroots effort in 2002 restored the tower's iron cladding and lens. Today, the Friends of Fairweather Island Light conduct guided lantern room tours on weekends in July and August. Reserve online if you want to look through the original brass binoculars used by the first keeper. Number 9. Silver Sand State Park. Silver Sand State Park spans 7 miles of barrier beach, salt marsh and tidal creek, land that once supported a thriving oyster industry until disease wiped out the beds in 1906. Today, it's a mosaic of dunes, shell-strewn beaches and reed-fringed lagoons. Mount the rental cruiser bike at the concession stand and pedal the hard-packed boardwalk all the way to the mouth of Long Island Sound, keeping an eye out for nesting piping plovers in late spring. Fun fact: Charles Island, just offshore, is rumored to have served as a hideout for Captain Kidd. At low tide you can walk the sandbar straight across, but only during windows of 4 to 6 hours around the lowest tides, or wary beachgoers have found themselves stranded until the next low. Trip tip: check the NOAA tide schedule for -2 feet low water. Plan to arrive by 8 a.m. to beat crowds and claim a parking spot. Weekend lot fees run $12. Stash reef shoe rentals in your trunk. They're essential for clambering over the jagged oyster shells and exploring the marsh channels. Remember sunscreen, a wide brim hat and plenty of water. That relentless sea breeze sheds sunburn in minutes. Insider advice: join the Connecticut Audubon Society's guided nature walks on Saturday mornings from May through October. You'll learn to identify overwintering ducks, shorebirds and the occasional seal bobbing just beyond the surf. Number 8. Captain's Cove Seaport. Built on the footprint of a 19th-century shipyard where 2 masted schooners once launched, Captain's Cove Seaport is Bridgeport's nautical entertainment hub. Rust-red lobster traps and nautical flags adorn the docks between the Barnacle Bistro and the Anchor Tavern, where French-trained chefs sling wood-fired oysters and lobster rolls loaded with local butter. Trip tip. For the ultimate sunset experience, reserve a slip on the schooner Ardell's weekend dining cruise. If you drive, park in Lot D next to the Seafood Shack. Your validated ticket grants a free house cocktail at the Anchor Tavern. Traveler hack. Thursdays are oyster nights. For $20 you get a dozen raw oysters, a pint of select draft beer and live jazz on the patio. Arrive by 5:30 to snag a waterfront table and watch local kayakers glide past as the sky bursts pink at dusk. Number 7. Hartford HealthCare Amphitheater. On land reclaimed from old freight rails, the Hartford HealthCare Amphitheater seats 2,500 reserved and up to 3,000 on the lawn, making it a mid-size music venue with stadium-quality acoustics. Its sweeping aluminum canopy mimics the curved ribs of the very whales that once fueled Bridgeport's economy, and solar panels perched above the concessions power 30% of the daily operations. Fun fact. The first act to headline here was the Beach Boys, whose sound waves literally bounced off the shell and set off ripples on the sound behind them. Trip tip. If you're on the grass, bring a low-profile folding chair and a windbreaker. Even summer nights can dip into the 60s once the sun sets over the water. Order drinks via the venue's app before the show starts to skip the bar lines. Your wristband doubles as a tap-and-pay system. Number 6. The Maritime Aquarium at Norwalk. Less than 15 minutes from Bridgeport, the Maritime Aquarium is a deep dive into Long Island Sound's underwater world. You'll wander past 20,000 fish, sharks, horseshoe crabs and sea turtles in habitat tanks that recreate tidal pools, eelgrass meadows and offshore reefs. Touch stingrays in the touch tank, then catch the giant kelp forest exhibit where sunlight filters through waving blades. Fun fact. The aquarium's sea turtle hospital rehabilitates injured Kemp's Ridley and green turtles. Visitors can sometimes watch a rescue release off their dock. Trip tip. Arrive by 10 a.m. on a Tuesday or Thursday. Not only are crowds thin, you'll snag front row seats at the 11:30 shark feeding demo and the 1:30 otter feeding with under 10-minute waits. Download the aquarium's app for real-time feed schedules and behind-the-scenes videos with the head aquarist. Insider hack. Join the Aquarium Ambassador program for a small annual fee. Members get free parking, discounts at the gift shop, and invitations to exclusive Dive Deeper after-hours events when the lights go down and the tanks glow. Number 5. The Stress Factory Comedy Club, Bridgeport. Housed in an intimate dining room that once served slices to hungry factory workers, the Stress Factory has nurtured talents like Jon Stewart, Dave Chappelle and Amy Schumer. Today it's where emerging comics road test new material between fresh-made pizzas and local craft brews. Fun fact. The club still uses a 1960s wood-fired pizza oven. Each dough ball is hand-tossed during the afternoon prep. Trip tip. Book the dinner and show combo online at least a week ahead. For about $50 you get a 2-topping pizza, salad, soda and a prime seat for headlining acts. Insider advice. Sit near the stage's right speaker to feel every punchline vibration. And bring cash for tips. Every dollar dropped in the tip jar guarantees a shout-out and sometimes an impromptu mic pass. Number 4. The Adventure Park at the Discovery Museum. Tucked into the woods behind Bridgeport's Discovery Museum, this aerial ropes course is one of only 2 museum-run treetop parks in the U.S. 7 color-coded trails ascend from easy beginner bridges to double zip lines that end 60 feet above the forest floor. Fun fact. The park's zip platforms stand where settlers once tapped chestnut trees for syrup. Today you'll glide above those same groves. Trip tip. Reserve your time slot online at least 10 days in advance, especially for weekends. Show up 20 minutes early for gear fitting and the mandatory safety briefing. Wear leggings or athletic shorts and fingerless gloves for grip. Loose clothing can snag on carabiners. Number 3. Seaside Park. Designed in the 1880s by Central Park's mastermind Frederick Law Olmsted, Seaside Park stretches 275 acres of meadows, woodlands, athletic fields and scenic waterfront promenades. It's the living legacy of Bridgeport's Gilded Age urban vision. Trip tip: download the park map before you go. Start at the Marina Cafe at 7 a.m. for farm-fresh breakfast sandwiches, then loop the 4-mile jogging path past picnic groves and the restored Victorian boathouse. Pack a frisbee or kite. The open fields are perfect for afternoon games. Insider note: Wednesdays at 6 a.m. you'll find free outdoor yoga classes on the North Lawn. On weekend afternoons, local artists set up pop-up markets by the carousel. Browse for handcrafted jewelry and homemade ice cream while you watch sailboats drift by. Number 2. Connecticut's Beardsley Zoo. America's only standalone zoo in Connecticut, Beardsley Zoo sprawls across 50 wooded acres along the Pequannock River, tracing its roots back to 1922 when philanthropist James W. Beardsley donated his family estate. Today you'll encounter Amur leopards pacing in sleek habitats, curious red pandas scaling bamboo groves, and a family of river otters splashing in a climate-controlled habitat. Fun fact: Beardsley Zoo was among the first U.S. zoos to hand-raise orphaned polar bear cubs in the 1950s, and their original care protocols still inform modern wildlife rehabilitation. Trip tip: arrive just before 10 a.m. on a weekday for shorter lines at the giraffe feeding station. Each handful of lettuce is just $3, and you'll get face-to-face selfies through the protective glass barrier. Download the zoo's mobile map to navigate keeper talks at 11 a.m., big cats, and 2 p.m., penguins, without missing a moment. Strollers and wheelchairs are available free at the entrance. Ask for the children's activity pack when you check in. Insider advice: upgrade to a conservation crew membership for unlimited year-round visits, behind-the-scenes tours with the veterinary staff, and discounts on special events like Roar in Snore, sleepovers in the Tiger Pavilion. Number 1. Total Mortgage Arena. With a capacity of over 10,000 for concerts and 7,200 for hockey, Total Mortgage Arena anchors downtown Bridgeport is home to the Bridgeport Islanders and a rotating roster of A-list performers, from country megastars to Broadway matinees. Its steep banked seating ensures every ticket feels like front row. Trip tip: for hockey nights, snag Tuesdays at the rink discount packages. You'll get a lower bowl seat, hot dog, popcorn and soda for under $30. Concert goers should download the arena's cashless concession app before arrival. Scan your wristband at all vendors to skip credit card lines entirely. Aim to park in Lot E, 2 blocks away, for $8 flat rate and a quick ride on the pedestrian bridge straight into the entry gates. Bonus spot number 1: the Barnum Museum. Dedicated to Bridgeport's most famous showman, P.T. Barnum, the Barnum Museum houses curiosities ranging from Barnum's personal ringmaster's hat to life-size wax figures of Jumbo the elephant. Restored after 2 devastating fires in the 19th and 21st centuries, its galleries celebrate the greatest show on Earth, with interactive displays and historic curios. Bonus spot number 2: Wheeler Wildlife Sanctuary. Just 10 minutes north of downtown Bridgeport, Wheeler Wildlife Sanctuary preserves 120 acres of hardwood forest, wetland meadows, and riverfront banks once owned by early shipbuilders. Miles of blue-blazed paths wind past hidden beaver lodges and stone foundation ruins, offering a true back-to-nature escape. That was points 2 and 1, plus 2 bonus must-see spots in Bridgeport. Which one has you packing your bags first? Hit that like button if today's tour gave you a fresh perspective on Connecticut's largest city, and subscribe to Destination Deca for deep dives into hidden gems coast to coast. Ring the bell so you're first in line for new travel guides loaded with fun facts, local tips and authentic stories. Comment below your Bridgeport bucket list, and I just might feature your recommendation in our next adventure. I'm Adam. See you on the next road trip.